Hello, soul loves. It's that time of year that you get to blame it on Mercury. It's so exciting when that happens that there's an excuse for everything. It's all Mercury's fault. But this Mercury, it's a little different than some of the ones in the past. It's got a lot of lucky days in it. So, we're going to demystify this Mercury's transit and the journey that it has through December, through Capricorn, retrograding, and then back into Sag again and the dance with the rest of the planets. So I'm going to go into the key dates for you, what this energy means, and what it is for you, and the key dates and the energy with the other planets too. So, that's what we're going to do today. So, we're going to demystify this energy and let you know what you need to know with this. So, as we dive deep into this celestial event of Mercury's journey that often sends ripples of chaos throughout our lives, throughout the collective, but, just know that understanding this energy can empower you to navigate it with grace, with your own Christ energy as you connect to this energy. So, as we go in to this energy of this magical Mercury retrograde that we have, okay? So Mercury is all about perspective. It's and during this time period, technically it's appears to be going backward motion, which is not actually true. It's just illusion, but as seen from Earth, it appears to be backwards. So that's what the whole retrograde thing is. Well, it isn't actually moving reverse. It's an optical illusion that has a profound impact on the energies here in the 3D in this realm. So, as this phenomenon signifies a time of revisiting, that's what it's all about: revisiting, redoing, reviewing, reactivating various aspects of your lives. When you use this energy, when the outside communication has went haywire and it's all ass backwards, then that is when it's your signal to go within. It's like quit trying to, what is that? The definition of insanity is to do, is to do the same thing over and over. That's when you're supposed to sit, take a break, drop into your own heart, into your Christ consciousness, and then communicate from that place. Okay. So, with this energy, our focus is going to turn to this upcoming Mercury in retrograde. It's expanding from December the 13th. We're already in the shadow of it. The shadow starts about 2 weeks before. So, we've been in the shadow about 10 days. Okay. December the 13th to January the 2nd. So, this celestial loop takes Mercury through Capricorn, and then recently where it visited and it was influenced by Sag, it will go back into that energy before this cycle is over with. So, in this cycle, Mercury spends the first phase from December the 13th to the 23rd in Capricorn. And then the second phase from December the 23rd to January the 2nd, it moves into Sagittarius. So, as I said, this energy and how to harness this Mercury in retrograde energy, it's catch up time. It is the retrograde is an opportune time to tackle tasks that you've fallen behind on. It's time to return borrowed items, settle overdue bills, and address lingering matters. So, remember to use this period to reconnect with activities or practices that you have forgotten or, neglected. Whether it's exercise, meditation, or just positive habits, it's time to revisit what serves your well being during this journey. Mercury's retrograde is the perfect window for clarifying any communication. It's a time to revisit it, to clarify, to re-message. So follow up on emails and clarity plans and address any unresolved issues during this time period. Mercury's retrograde is not a time to just stop life. Some people believe that, oh, don't do this, don't do that. That's kind of the old energy of it. It's more like a yield sign, especially with this one, with the influences that it has with Jupiter trying to. So proceed with caution, but pay attention. It's about paying attention to your steps. Be methodical, especially with it being in Capricorn, with the steps that you take out in front of you. Okay. So, especially during the time period, right, as it's stationing, that's when it can be more wonky, like right, at the 13th time period, and then again in January on the 2nd. So, carry on with your regular activities and just make sure you double check everything. You redot the dots and you recross the T's. Okay. So, as the individual impact, how it affects each person differently, dependent on your birth chart, okay? And the current planetary influences that's going on in your world, in the house that it's in. So if Mercury plays a significant role in your chart, like the Geminis, the Virgos, well, just if it's sometime, or if it's your ascendant, if it's in your rising sign or your sun sign, if it's a heavy player in your life, then you may feel it more. So, and if you natally have Mercury already retrograde in your chart, then it's a time for you to be totally clear. Don't listen to people tell you not to launch, not to do this, not to do that, because it's a time that you do that. So it depends on your own individual chart and how that energy is going to affect you in that way. You can listen up to the Mercury retrograde energy and apply it to the house that it's in for you. And then you'll know what, in your life to move forward with and what the effects are, because they're going to be more pronounced for you in that way. So Mercury stands with other planets. So additionally, this quality of Mercury retrograde can vary on its base with the interaction of other planets. And for this one, Mercury is retrograding in Capricorn, and it may bring a sense of focus, stability, and thanks to the support of Saturn and Jupiter in Sagittarius, the journey may be more chaotic, influenced by the Mars and Neptune in this upcoming retrograde cycle begins to blend in with the energies. So it's starting with Mercury station retrograde with the trine in Jupiter. This is, and then it's going to conclude with the conjunct with Mars and a square to Neptune. So that's the other players that we're going to have during this time period. So this is understanding of these dynamics, so it can help you maximize the potential of this Mercury retrograde rather than merely enduring it or being a victim to it. Okay. So share your insights on how you experience this and how you've experienced Mercury's retrogrades in the past. What is it, inner journey for you? I love it. It's always when I get big, huge downloads during that time period. So the key dates that we have during this time period is that it retrogrades at 8 degrees, December the 13th in Capricorn, and then it's going to trine with Jupiter on the 17th. And then there's going to be a Mercury cazimi. That's when Mercury goes conjunct with the sun into the heart of the sun. And that's when you can get, on the 22nd, December the 22nd, that's when you can get messages straight from the divine source, straight into your brain here, that you can bring this into the 3D. And then on the 23rd, Mercury is going to be moving into the sign of Sagittarius. Starts moving then, and it'll be moving into that. And this energy is going to completely shift, because the Sagittarius is fiery, it's passionate. And when Mercury retrogrades back into Sagittarius, it immediately enters this prolonged square with that foggy Neptune energy. So Neptune is dreams, it's illusions, it's what you want to happen, having faith and hope and belief. And then on the 27th, it's going to square Neptune As it travels back to so square Neptune, as it travels back 22 degrees to Sagittarius on January the 2nd. And also, there's a trine with Jupiter on December the 30th. So I'll do a little thing on all of those too. But I'm going to talk about each one of those as we go through all signs and what that energy is for you in your chart. And I've already done one on Neptune itself, because Neptune itself just went direct on the 8th. So you can go and watch this and find out what how the Neptune energy is playing a role in your houses and in your life. Okay. So we're going to move into all signs with this energy. Okay, I am Kimberly Crow. I am a Western astrologer using whole sign system for this energy analysis. So listen up. This is what you need to know with that. Your rising sign is the day and your birthday. Well, your year too. It's your birth information, and you have to know your time. Okay. And it's what your soul came to embody and what it came to rise to in this 3D embodiment in this skin suit. Your sun sign is the day you were born, you and everybody else that was born on that day. Rising sign is just usually a 2-hour window. Okay. The sun sign is the day you were born. It's your personality. It's what you show out into the world. It's what's reflected back to you. It can be male authority figures in your life. It can be your daddy in your chart, your father-like figures to you. The moon is your emotional IQ. It's how you express yourself, how your mind and your emotions interact with each other. And it can be the nurturing energy that you have, what you send out, what you need, what you want to acquire in that way. And it can represent your mother in your chart. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go through each sign, starting with Aries, and I'm going to go through all of those key dates and what that energy means to you. Okay, Aries, this Mercury in retrograde is going to reside in your 10th house, which governs your career, your legacy, your job, your reputation, and how you're perceived in the public eye. This retro journey initiates with a harmonious trine in Jupiter, positioned in your 2nd house. That's money. Responsibility for responsible finances, property, cash, possessions. So this trine signifies a beautiful flow of energy, suggesting improvements in your financial matters. As the cycle progresses, it offers you an opportunity to reassess your beliefs, to scrutinize your actions, particularly in the context of your career. You may find yourself revisiting work-related projects, promises, and professional goals. On December the 22nd, the Sun meets Mercury. In this celestial event known as a cazimi, it's strengthening your communication abilities. Expect messages, downloads, and innovative information to come your way. Pay attention to people, topics, and conversations encountered on this date, as they could hold a key and significant breakthroughs for you. On the 23rd, Mercury moves into Sagittarius, ushering a shift in the energy. This transition initiates a prolonged square with Neptune, the planet of dreams, of faith, of illusion. The square upholds between your unfolds, not upfolds, unfolds. I don't even know what upfolds means. Okay, between your 9th house, which encompasses legal matters, publishing, cross-culture experiences, education pursuits. And in your 12th house, it's associated with subconscious and hidden enemies and intuition. Okay. The square represents tense angles requiring an effort of integration. The Mercury's retrograde in your ninth house may lead you to review, reevaluate work related projects, legal matters on education endeavors. However, Neptune's influence can introduce uncertainty to you, making you feel as though things are somewhat off kilter. This phase prompts you to revisit recent projects, communication goals, considering where you might have overextended yourself. It's an opportunity to reflect on your career, your legal matters, and your educational pursuits, seeking a fresh perspective. Moving on to the 27th, Mercury aligns to Mars, signifying assertive. It conjuncts with Mars, assertive communication actions. Yet, with Mercury still square with Neptune, there's a risk of speaking or acting hastily due to the incomplete information that you may have. Caution is advised in your words, your actions during that time period. If you must proceed with important decisions or projects, ensure a thorough understanding of all the details. Triple check any critical documents. With Mercury square Neptune, clarity may be exclusive, is elusive. Okay? Making it advisable to postpone significant decisions, projects until after this Mercury goes direct and resumes its journey through Capricorn. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Mercury stations retrograde in your ninth house, which relates to publishing, travel, cross culture experiences, and education. And it's going to trine with that Jupiter in your first house, emphasizing self improvement. This alignment is quite favorable because the Jupiter is known for its expansive qualities, making everything bigger, brighter, and better. In this case, it's enhancing your first house of self, your identity, your self perceptions, your appearance, your expressions, and your habits. Think of your first house as your personal business card, your website, what's showcasing you to the world and how you want others to perceive you. Mercury retrograde period offers you valuable opportunity to reassess your beliefs and examine motivations behind your actions. Period to review and to refine your plans, particularly within the domains of publishing, cross-culture interactions, and education and travel. Make sure your passport is in the line and all of that kind of stuff. You're traveling through the holidays. As we move forward to the 22nd, Mercury forms that conjunct with the sun, the Cazimi. This celestial alignment occurs in the heart of the sun. It places a focus squarely on you, your identity, your soul expression, your leadership past, and the overall presentation of self. This conjunct serves as to strengthen your communication, your abilities significantly. Expect messages and innovative insights to come your way on this day. Pay attention to people, places, and conversations you encounter, as they could be pivotal in your Mercury retrograde journey. These interactions may lead to important breakdown for you in this time period. On the 23rd, Mercury's going to transition into the sign of Sagittarius. It retraces the steps in this sign. It enters into a prolonged square with Neptune in the planet associated with dreams, illusions, faith, hopes, and beliefs. This square takes place in your 11th house, which governs your dreams, your network, your abilities, the connections with peers and aspirations. Concurrently, Mercury is revisiting your 8th house, the realm of shared resources and contractual obligations, joint ventures, and transformation. This alignment implies a conflict between your high hopes and your uncertainty. introduced by Neptune's foggy influence. During this phase, you may need to reevaluate contracts and financial obligations shared with others. This could encompass matters such as debt, wills, alimony, child support. That eighth house is yours and other people's money. Okay, perpetual agreements and joint financial arrangements. Navigating the squares requires conscious effort and hard work. It's an opportunity to address any discrepancies between your ideal visions and your practical realities that you share resources and commitments. Additionally, that eighth house is associated also with like taboo, with sex, with insurance, inheritances. It's the house of death, making these areas of your life ripe for review and potential revision. As we progress to the 27th, Mercury aligns with Mars, has a conjunct with Mars. While Mercury governs thoughts, ideals, and communication and travel, Mars represents assertive, fiery energy. However, with this Mercury still squaring Neptune, this combination can lead to hasty communication, impulsive actions. Exercise caution with your words and actions during this time period. It's easy to act before obtaining necessary information. Mercury squaring Neptune, clarity may be lacking. So it's advisable to postpone vital decisions and projects after that square until it does complete its retrograde journey and goes back direct. These challenges with mindfulness and cared consideration, you can emerge from this cycle with clearer, more deliberate path forward. To Gemini. Gemini, your chart ruler is Mercury. So wherever it stations retrograde, it's really going to be important to you. Mercury is stationed retrograde in your eighth house of shared resources. This eighth house is a house of birth, death, rebirth, and taboo topics. Where we have shared resources, whether it's a business partner or significant other, marriage partner, or someone you've divorced, especially with when children and alimony are involved. It could also relate to wills or money passed down through generations. This upcoming retrograde cycle begins with Mercury stationing retrograde in a trine to Jupiter in your 12th house, which is about intuition, spirit, guides, your Akashic records, and your personal unconscious connection to spirit. It's also the house of self undoing, but Jupiter in here is often benefits to help you seek the truth. This retrograde cycle will conclude with the conjunct with Mars when and a square to Neptune. It's an opportunity for you to reassess your beliefs, scrutinize your actions, and reflect on connections with those you have deep bonds with, whether it's your marriage partner, your business partner, or your family. The Mercury retrograde are times to slow down, to be mindful in communication and travel. Make necessary revisions in specific areas of your life because this does involve wills, debts, contracts with others. On December the 22nd, when that sun goes in, when the sun and Mercury align and that Mercury goes into the heart of the sun, it's going to strengthen your communication abilities. Expect innovative information and messages, particularly from dream and spirit guides and other spiritual sources. The next day, Mercury moves back into Sagittarius, shifting your focus to your 7th house, which involves people you have contracts with or deep connections. This will form a square with Neptune in your 10th house, creating some confusion. Use the time to review recent projects, scrutinize your partnerships, seek fresh perspective during this time period. On the 27th, Mercury conjuncts with Mars, adding aggressive communication. Be cautious with your words, with your actions, especially with authority figures. Ensure that you have all the facts before making important decisions. Consider postponing significant choices until after Mercury stations direct and moves back into Capricorn. Okay, Cancer. This Mercury is stationed retrograde in your 7th house. That's your partners. Relationships to partnerships and significant others. It includes your friends, your clients, and anyone you have contracts with. The retrograde begins with Mercury trine to Jupiter in your 11th house, emphasizing the connections and network for manifesting your dreams. Okay. The cycle concludes with this conjunct with Mars squared to Neptune. This period offers opportunity to reassess your beliefs and scrutinize your actions concerning partnerships and trust. The Mercury retrograde encourages you to slow down, to be mindful of communication and make necessary revisions in your relationship sector. On the 22nd, when Mercury goes into the heart of the sun in the Cazimi, strengthening Mercury's communication abilities. Expect innovative informations and messages related to your daily interactions, networking, and your connections. Pay attention to conversations and people who you encounter on this date. They may lead to breakthroughs. The following day, Mercury moves retrograde back into your 6th house, focusing on health, well-being, daily habits. It squares Neptune in your 9th house, causing confusion about learning, traveling, and exploring. Take time to review recent projects, assessments on your health routines, and seek a sustainable approach for yourself. On the 22nd, Mercury's going to conjunct with Mars. They're going to come together, adding hot, fiery communication to the mix. Exercise caution with words, actions, especially with authority figures during that time period. Ensure that you have the information before making important decisions. Consider delaying significant choices until Mercury stations back direct after the 27th. Okay, that the 6th house is also your house of pets, so pay attention to that. You don't want your dogs getting in the fight with each other or the neighborhood dogs. Okay, Leo, rising sun, moon energies. Mercury is stationed retrograde in your 6th house, emphasizing daily habits, health, well-being, and your pets. This cycle begins with Mercury trine to Jupiter, making it easier to find balance between home, work, and it concludes with the conjunct to Mars and a square to Neptune, offering opportunities to reassess your beliefs, your actions regarding your health and your well-being. Mercury retrograde encourages you to slow down, to be mindful of your communication, and make necessary revisions in your daily routines. Focus on prioritizing your health, both physically and mentally. Consider alternative health practices during this time period. On December the 22nd, Mercury is going to have a Cazimi with the sun, strengthening Mercury's communication abilities. Expect innovative information related to your health, your daily routines, your well-being. Pay attention to conversations and interactions on this date. They may lead to breakthroughs for you. The following day, Mercury moves retrograde back into your 5th house, emphasizing that's a house of creativity, joy, creativity, children. Okay, this squares Neptune in your 8th house, causing confusion about shared resources and investments. Reflect on recent projects, creative endeavors, and connections, seeking a more substantial approach. On the 27th, Mercury conjuncts Mars, introducing hot, aggressive communication. Exercise caution with words and actions, especially with authority figures. Ensure you have all the facts before making decisions. Consider postponing any significant choices from the 27th until it moves back, stations back into retrograde on the 2nd. Okay? Okay, Virgo, it's important because this is your ruling sign. Mercury affects you, your first house of self and your career. Whenever it stations retrograde, it can throw a monkey wrench into things for you. For this upcoming cycle, Mercury will be in your fifth house of fun, pleasure, joy, investments, children, art, music, creativity. It will bring a blend of energy beginnings for you with Mercury station in retrograde with a beautiful trine in Jupiter in um, it with a beautiful trine in Jupiter. The trines represent ease and grace, allowing you to focus on what you want, such as travel, to meet people, teach, to take workshops, to publish, to have cross culture experiences, or dive into spiritual learning. Mercury retrograde in your fifth house may have you revisiting these desires or taking a second look. On the 22nd, Mercury and the Sun go into a Gazumi. They will meet in the sky. This strengthens Mercury's communication abilities and can bring innovative information. It's a turning point in your Mercury retrograde story. Pay attention to the conversations, the topics on this date. They can lead to breakthroughs. The next day, Mercury will move into your house of home, creativity, creating a prolonged square with Neptune in your seventh house of relationships. This may bring conflicts related to your home, to your family, or traditions, or significant others, or business partners. At the same time, review projects, commitments, and your foundation. On the 27th, Mars joins Mercury, adding aggression to the mix. Be cautious not to act impulsively due to unclear communication. It's best to delay important decisions and projects until after Mercury stations direct and moves into Capricorn for stability in your partnerships. Okay, Libra, sun, moon, and rising. This retrograde cycle starts with Mercury station retrograde in your fourth house of home, family, foundation, and tradition. There's a beautiful trine to Jupiter in your eighth house, emphasizing shared resources and partnerships. This cycle allows you to reassess your beliefs and scrutinize your actions to make necessary revisions related to your home and family. On December the 22nd, Sun and Mercury form a Kazemi, bringing innovative information that can lead to breakthroughs in your story. The next day, Mercury moves into your third house of communication, forming a square with Neptune in your sixth house of health and daily habits. This may lead to confusion in communication and a need to review recent projects and ideas as an opportunity to strategize a more deliberate path toward your daily life and work. On December the 27th, Mars joins Mercury, adding fiery communication to the mix. Use caution and ensure that you have all the facts before making decisions or taking action. It's best to delay important choices until after the Mercury goes retrograde in Capricorn for a stable home front. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. Mercury stations retrograde in your third house of daily communication, siblings, short distance travel. This forms a helpful trine to Jupiter in your seventh house of partnerships, offering a chance to reconnect with clients, business partners, or significant others. This retrograde cycle encourages you to review your beliefs and actions related to communication. On December the 22nd, the Sun and Mercury go into Cazimi, they go together, bringing new ideas and insights. Focus on conversation and topics on this date as they can relate to lead major breakthroughs for you. Mercury then moves into Sagittarius in your second house of self worth, possessions, and finances, forming a square to Neptune in your fifth house of creativity. Review your financial situation and creative projects, ensuring a sustainable and realistic view. On the 27th, Mars is going to conjunct with Mercury, intensifying communications. Be cautious of impulsive actions due to unclear communication. It's best to delay important decisions until after Mercury goes direct in Capricorn on the 2nd for financial clarity. Okay, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. The upcoming retrograde cycle brings a blend of energy starting with Mercury stationing retrograde in your second house, which pertains to your personal resources, cash, property, and everything related to your finances, your salary, your income, your work ethic, financial conditions. It prompts you to examine where your money is going and what you truly value. Mercury's retrograde journey begins with beautiful trine to Jupiter, situated in your sixth house, which deals with the balance between your home and your work, mentorship, and guidance, and overall well being, including mental, physical, and spiritual health. As Mercury goes backward, you want to revisit your financial decisions and scrutinize their importance. The Mercury retrograde cycle, concludes with the conjunct with Mars and square to Neptune, providing opportunity to the recesses of your beliefs and to scrutinize motivations behind actions. Mercury retrograde encourages the slowing down and the revisiting communication, being mindful of your finances. On December the 22nd, when it forms the Cazimi in the Sun, enhancing communication abilities, expect messages, downloads, and innovative information through various channels, including mentors, authority figures, or dream symbolism. This turning point can lead to significant breakthroughs for you. The following day, Mercury moves into Sagittarius, bringing a shift on your self expression, appearance, habits, and strength. This square with Neptune may create uncertainty and challenge you to review recent projects to ensure your self presentation aligns with your true intentions. On the 27th, Mars conjuncts Mercury in your first house, potentially leading to impulsive and hasty communication. Given Mercury square to Neptune, exercise caution and verify details and delay important decisions until Mercury goes direct. Okay, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Mercury stations retrograde in your first house. This is about you, affecting your identity, your self expression, how you present yourself to the world. It prompts to review your communication style and your self perception. This retrograde cycle begins with a trine to Jupiter in your fifth house. That's creativity, focusing on your creativity, pleasure, and joy. As Mercury retrogrades, you'll reflect on how you communicate with your personal identity, and you may reconsider aspects of your self expression. On December the 22nd, Mercury goes into a Cazimi with the Sun, amplifying communication abilities to offering a turning point in your retrograde story. So pay attention to conversations and connections on this date. They may lead to future breakthroughs for you. Mercury retrogrades back on the 23rd into Sagittarius, emphasizing self-reflection and introspective energy. The square to Neptune in your fourth house prompts you to revisit your foundations, traditions, and home life. You may question the integration of your identity with your family or your home environment. This phase may feel unclear and challenging. Maybe you'll be channeling too, challenging to you. But the opportunity to refine your self expression and will address any confusion. Okay. Review past projects and revise your approach before moving forward. On the 27th, Mars is going to conjunct with Mercury in your first house, potentially leading to impulsive communication. Be cautious with your words given that Neptune square. Delay important decisions with Mercury during that time period until Mercury re-enters into Capricorn. Okay? Okay. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising. The Mercury stations retrograde in your 12th house. This is the house of introspective dreams, hidden aspects of self. This cycle urges you to reflect on your subconscious inner world and spiritual journey. Mercury's retrograde begins with a trine to Jupiter in your fourth house, emphasizing family, home, and traditions. As Mercury moves backwards, you'll reassess your beliefs and their impact on your inner world. On December the 22nd, the Cazimi between Mercury and the Sun enhances communication abilities and represents a turning point in your retrograde journey. Pay attention to conversations and connections on this day, as they may hold future significance for you. Mercury moves back into Sagittarius on the 23rd, influencing your 11th house associated with hopes, wishes, and social circuses. Your social circus. Okay, your social circles. The square to Neptune in your second house can create uncertainty about your goals and your resources. Reflect on your aspirations and reevaluate your network connections. Network. Maybe your net worth too. Network connections. This phase may feel foggy, but it offers an opportunity to refine your goals and reconsider your associations. Review recent projects and adopt a fresh perspective before moving forward. On the 27th, Mars joins Mercury in your 11th house, potentially leading to impulsive communication with peers or groups. Given the Neptune square, exercise caution and delay important decisions until Mercury goes direct. Okay, Pisces. Sun, moon, and rising. Mercury stations retrograde in your 11th house, highlighting hopes, dreams, and goals. Social networks. This cycle encourages you to review your aspirations and your connections. Mercury retrograde begins with a trine to Jupiter in your third house, focusing on communication, neighbors, and siblings. As Mercury retrogrades, you'll reconsider your beliefs, their impact on your social interactions. On December the 22nd, Mercury and the Sun go into a Cazimi, which is going to strengthen communication abilities and marks a turning point in your retrograde journey. Pay attention to conversations and connections on this day. They may lead to future breakthroughs for you. Mercury moves back into Sagittarius, affecting your 10th house of career, reputation, and public image. The square to Neptune in your first house can create uncertainty about your professional goals and identity. Review your career path and your presentation to the public. This phase may feel unclear, but it offers an opportunity to refine your career objectives and reevaluate your self image. Review recent projects and adapt a fresh perspective before moving forward. On the 27th, Mars joins Mercury in your 10th house, potentially leading to impulsive career related communications. Given the Neptune square, exercise caution, verifying the details, and delay important decisions until that Mercury goes back direct. Okay. Thank you. Know that through all of this energy, these transits, with everything that Mercury's doing, you have the power to protect your peace. And you do that by dropping into your heart, into your sacred chamber, into your Christ consciousness. Connect to Gaia herself, the keyhole that's yours, that she holds for you. Drop that down through the center into that keyhole to your earth purpose and align to your soul's endeavors. May you be blessed with this energy. And thank you. Thank you for being here. Oh, I already did the first part of this, the preview to the retrograde, where I go through all the houses and the energy from December the 1st to the 23rd. So you can go back and watch that too. What else have I done this week? I did the Neptune. I talked about that. That's already up. I'm going to do a new moon, and then the energy. We have a new moon in Sagittarius right together. These two come in together at the same time, and I didn't talk about that transit in this, and I thought about that after I wrote all this up. But besides this point, I'll catch you on that. So may you be blessed. Thank you. Subscribe, like, share, make comments, and I will talk back to you. I will, in one way or another. I'll talk back to you. It's one of the things I do. So thank you. Thank you for incarnating. Thank you for being on this planet. Thank you for choosing a DNA skin suit to be here during this special time period. Remember to be yourself and dance your freaky dance. Bye. Be blessed.